When we first explored the concept of Golden Oak back in 2019, it was still a relatively unknown project. It was a novel idea where, for a couple $1 million, wealthy individuals could purchase their own mansions on an estate situated within Walt Disney World. But what was once seen as a novel or even charming addition to the Disney empire has since become a focal point in a much broader and more contentious conversation. As Golden Oak developed into a thriving community, it began to symbolize something much deeper and more complex. An emblem of Disney's evolving relationship with wealth, exclusivity, and some argue, greed. Despite delving into Golden Oak in several previous videos, there is still so much more to uncover about this fascinating project, which many look upon with admiration and morbid curiosity. In revisiting Golden Oak, we now have access to more detailed information than ever, from the intricate land lease agreements preventing residences from technically owning their land, to the reality that these homes are more akin to luxury hotel suites than traditional private residences. So why revisit Golden Oak now? Well, simply put, there's a ton more information available to us. This is now a lived-in community, and residents have come out to give insight into what it's like to live in such an estate. Likewise, while some may choose to simply ignore the ultra-wealthy community situated within Walt Disney World property, its existence is still significant. Golden Oak reflects a very aggressive cultural shift within the Walt Disney Company, which is essentially cashing in on the creative foundations that were provided to them. This is not an unique, isolated project, as two additional exclusive communities are being worked on in the United States right now. This is Golden Oak, and how Disney's most luxurious offering is also its most revealing. For those who don't know or need a refresher, Golden Oak is a private luxury estate located on Walt Disney World property just shy of Epcot. When we first discussed it back in 2019, homes started at $2 million and topped out at around $7 million. The estate and houses were designed as secondary vacation homes for the ultra-wealthy, and as such, the community practically functions as one of Disney's most upscale resorts. This includes all the expected amenities that are staple to the Walt Disney World Resort experience, such as resident-exclusive restaurants, a private summer house club, gym, pool, and family area that hosts sing-alongs and movie nights. The average home layout consists of a 5-bedroom mansion with sprawling living spaces, a kitchen designed for a Disney-appointed chef to come around to your home and cook for you and your family, vast pools with character ornaments, children's rooms themed to various Disney films or characters, and grand gardens that help maintain a sense of privacy in one of the busiest tourist destinations in the world. Like everything at Walt Disney World, the homes and community spaces at Golden Oak are all designed by Walt Disney Imagineering. But this means that you can't just go paint in your walls or build in a new extension. All changes to the homes must be approved by Imagineering and must go through an authorized Golden Oak builder. The mansions of Golden Oak are divided into distinct neighborhoods, each offering a unique living experience within the estate, and these neighborhoods are grouped into two main districts. The first district, simply named Golden Oak, features homes that embody classic European-inspired designs and timeless architectural styles. This area reflects the more traditional and elegant side of the estate and has remained largely untouched since 2019. The second district, with the mouthful of a name, the Four Seasons Private Residences Orlando at Walt Disney World Resort, represents the more modern and luxurious facet of Golden Oak. The mansions here come with a heftier price tag, reflecting their contemporary designs and elevated opulence. At the heart of this neighborhood lies the Four Seasons Orlando, a cornerstone of luxury within the community, which is officially the most expensive resort on Walt Disney World property. Interestingly, this neighborhood is the only part of Golden Oak to see any significant expansion in recent years. Located near the Four Seasons Orlando Resort itself, an upcoming development will add 31 luxe residences housed in a single mid-rise tower, along with 9 attached boutique homes. Construction on this addition is already underway, with completion expected by early 2026. And yes, the starting price for these residences, which are really just fancy apartments, is anticipated to be over $5 million. But what exactly does that $5 million price tag buy you if you decide to go in on this project? Well, houses and apartments within the Four Seasons residences are not just luxury homes. They come with all the benefits of a 5-star hotel. Residents enjoy a range of services typically reserved for hotel guests, such as room service, daily cleaning, concierge assistance, access to pools, Disney park transportation, spa services, and much more. However, being a resident here elevates the level of service even further. The staff will take care of your shopping, maintain your home while you're away, and ensure that your clothes are always washed, pressed, and ready whenever you need them. In addition to the multi-million-dollar purchase price, residents are required to pay annual fees close to $55,000 US. As you can imagine, Golden Oak comes with a lot of fees. Now, prices vary and there's a lot of conflicting information on the exact costs, but all residents are required to pay roughly $8,000 US for homeowners association fees and be members of the Golden Oak Club, which costs roughly $23,000 US per year. Members get access to the on-site amenities, including clubhouse, pool, and gym, alongside a concierge service, the ability to buy special event tickets early, and special transportation to the theme parks with early entry. But this is kind of a more diminished version of what you would get from the Four Seasons residences. Originally, people who bought into the development were provided with annual passes to Walt Disney World alongside membership to Club 33, but these perks have since been removed as homes are only available on resale. I do find it kind of ironic that even for the ultra wealthy, Disney is cutting back benefits. You do, however, get a yearly allowance of single-day admission tickets to the parks to use however you see fit. But back to the Four Seasons private residences. They are basically giant mansion-shaped hotel rooms for the ultra-wealthy. But then again, so is most of Golden Oak. These properties are far from your typical neighborhood homes. They are part of an exclusive enclave where every need is catered to, and the concept of traditional community living is essentially redefined. Golden Oak is not designed like a conventional neighborhood. You won't find the usual amenities like local shops, schools, or bars within its boundaries. There's no corner store to pick up groceries, no neighborhood school for the kids, and no pub where residences gather after work. Instead, if you need something, whether it's groceries, a gourmet meal, or even a minor household repair, someone at Disney will likely handle it for you. This level of service reinforces the idea that Golden Oak is less about daily living and more about offering a curated luxury experience. Because of this setup, most people don't actually live in these houses full time. Some do, but most don't. The properties at Golden Oak, including those within the Four Seasons private residences, are often treated as holiday homes, luxurious retreats where owners might spend a few weeks or even a few days each year. For the rest of the year, the homes often just sit empty, meticulously maintained by Disney staff who ensure that everything is perfect for the owner's next visit. This transient nature of residency is a stark contrast to what many might expect from a traditional neighborhood. There's no bustling community of families going about their daily lives, no children riding bikes down the street, and no sense of a shared, lived in environment. Instead, Golden Oak functions more like an exclusive resort where the residents are guests who come and go as they please, returning to their primary residences elsewhere. This stands in stark contrast to Disney's former community project, Celebration, which was designed as a livable city with a focus on fostering a genuine sense of community. Celebration was envisioned as a place where people would not only live but also work and learn and play. It featured schools, shops, restaurants, and public spaces designed to encourage social interaction and community engagement. Residents of Celebration were meant to be part of a thriving town where daily life unfolded in a setting that combined the charm of small town America with modern conveniences. It had its problem, but for the most part, it worked. Golden Oak, on the other hand, offers a different kind of luxury, one that prioritizes privacy, exclusivity, and a level of service that eliminates the need for any of the typical infrastructure of daily life. It's a place where the idea of community is less about interaction and more about convenience and indulgence. Some of us can't afford Disney-appointed chefs. I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to point any fingers. But it might be me. But what do you do if you want hassle-free, fresh food delivered straight to your door? HelloFresh. HelloFresh. HelloFresh is basically your own concierge service for delicious, fresh food. Each week, you can pick from over 50 different dinner types to suit a whole range of lifestyles. They've got calorie-smart meals, they've got quick and easy, family-friendly, and if you wanted to impress some of those hotties down at the Four Seasons Orlando, and you want to get a little bit swole, they've also got a protein-smart meal option as well. Now, I actually have used HelloFresh, and one of the biggest reasons is that I get easily overwhelmed at shops, which is ironic because I've dedicated most of my life around theme parks. But I hate deciding what to eat, and HelloFresh makes that easy. I sit down, whether it's at work or whether it's just at home in the afternoon, and I go through and I pick some meals, and then they're delivered to me, and everything is there. I don't need to go and get anything, which is really nice. Click the link in the description or use my code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active if you're in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply. If you're interested in HelloFresh and want to help out Review Time at the same time, be sure to check out the link below. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Now, back to the video in the studio and not my kitchen. Now, one of the core reasons for revisiting Golden Oak as a topic is that we now have access to much more detailed information about the estate than we did several years ago. We've learned more about the intricacies of the leasing agreements, particularly the fact that you can't technically own a piece of Walt Disney World due to the unique legal and logistical complexities involved. We also have a clearer picture of who the primary residents of Golden Oak are and how this exclusive community operates within the broader context of Disney's empire. Golden Oak presented a unique problem for Disney. The Reedy Creek Improvement District, which has long been under the sole control of Disney, was originally established to provide the company with significant autonomy in managing the vast land holdings of Walt Disney World. This arrangement allowed Disney to operate as its own local government with the power to control zoning, infrastructure, and public services within the district. You've probably heard that they can build a nuclear power plant here, and that, for the most part, was true. For decades, this level of control enabled Disney to build and expand its resort empire with minimal outside interference, ensuring that its vision for the property could be realized without the usual bureaucratic hurdles. However, the introduction of Golden Oak, a residential community with the boundaries of Reedy Creek, introduced a new dynamic. For the first time, private citizens, not just Disney employees or businesses, would be living within the district. This posed potential challenges to Disney's control, as these homeowners could, in theory, demand a say in how the district is governed or raise concerns about the management of public services, infrastructure, and community standards. Because of this, when purchasing a property in Golden Oak, Prospective homeowners enter into a unique and somewhat unconventional arrangement that's far from the typical real estate transaction. Unlike traditional home purchases, where buyers own both the house and the land it sits on, Golden Oak operates under a land lease model. This means that while homeowners own their lavish mansions, they do not own the land beneath them. Instead, they lease the land from Disney under long term agreements that come with a variety of specific conditions. These lease conditions are more than just legal formalities. They are integral in how Disney maintains its control over the Golden Oak community and more broadly Walt Disney World as a whole. From the moment you purchase a property, you're bound by strict guidelines that dictate everything from the architecture of your home to the landscaping in your yard. Disney's meticulous attention to detail ensures that every aspect of the community aligns with its brand and vision, preserving the carefully crafted aesthetic of Golden Oak. As we mentioned before, any modifications you wish to make to your property, whether it's adding a new wing, repainting the exterior, or even changing your landscaping, it must be approved by Disney. They're not going to allow for anything that could conflict with its brand because technically you are living as the brand. These guidelines are in place to maintain a uniform appearance throughout the community, ensuring that Golden Oak remains a pristine and cohesive environment. But it doesn't stop there. The lease terms also extend to the resale of your property. If you decide, for whatever reason, to sell your Golden Oak home, the process is not as straightforward as placing it on the open market. Prospective buyers must go through an approval process within Disney, ensuring they too will adhere to the community's rules and guidelines. This adds a layer of complexity to the transaction that you wouldn't encounter in most other luxury real estate markets. If you have the money and you can buy the mansion, most of the time you're in. It also means that the pool of potential buyers is limited to those who not only have the financial means to afford such a property, but are also willing to accept the conditions imposed by Disney, as well as just flat out be approved by Disney in the first place. Moreover, these lease agreements typically go all the way up to 99 years, and while they are designed to be long term, they do eventually come up for renewal. At that point, Disney retains the right to renegotiate the terms, even though statistically all residences will be long gone by then. Although it's unlikely that Disney would make drastic changes to the terms, the very fact that they hold this power underscores the company's control over this community. Imagine if you inherited several generations down the line a Golden Oak home, and then Disney decided, you know what, this would be a great place for our next theme park. They could just pay you out, demolish it all, and go from there. They have that right. We also mentioned in our original video that you weren't allowed to rent out or sublet your home to other people. This isn't strictly true. You can, but it has to be for a minimum of 7 months. I don't want to know what the weekly rent would be on a Golden Oak home. This arrangement is part of what makes Golden Oak both alluring and challenging. On one hand, you're living in a luxury home within the magic of Walt Disney World, with all the prestige and exclusivity that comes with it. On the other hand, you're doing so under a set of conditions that ensures Disney's continued influence over your property and lifestyle. For some, this is a small price to pay for the privilege of living in such a unique environment. For others, it raises questions about autonomy and ownership in what is, after all, your own property. This brings us to today, where we left off. That original 2 to 7 million price point looks like chump change in comparison to the current market for Golden Oak properties. Since their initial offering, all of the mansions have officially sold out, making the only way to acquire one now through the resale market or to wait until the Four Seasons projects are finished. This shift has driven up prices significantly as the exclusivity of owning a piece of Golden Oak has become even more coveted among the ultra wealthy. Currently, there are only 3 homes available for purchase on the resale market, with the prices ranging from 5.2 million to a staggering 14.5 million US dollars. The fact that 2 of these properties are already under pending purchases underscores just how in demand these homes have become. The limited supply combined with the unique prestige of living within Walt Disney World, which I feel like I've said a million times at this point, I probably have, has created a fiercely competitive market where prices continue to soar. The current market situation also raises interesting questions about the future of Golden Oak. As prices climb higher, the community becomes even more exclusive, potentially narrowing out the pool of potential buyers to an even wealthier segment of society. This could further solidify Golden Oak's status as a symbol of extreme luxury and Disney's evolving relationship with its most affluent fans. It also emphasizes the stark reality that the dream of owning a home at Golden Oak is now out of reach for all but the financially elite, reinforcing the community's reputation as a playground for those who have the money. But who are those people who choose to call Golden Oak home, even if it is just a few weeks a year? Golden Oak's residents are an eclectic mix of wealthy individuals, each with their own unique backstory and path to success that has afforded them the means to live in Disney. Take Jenna Scaramucci, for example, a 63-year-old divorced Disney enthusiast and art collector. She moved from a neighborhood in Oklahoma to Golden Oak after feeling dissatisfied with her previous life. Her home is a reflection of her passion for Disney, with Mickey Mouse motifs and Disney themed decor adorning every room. Scaramucci has built a life around her love for Disney, attending conservation programs at Animal Kingdom and traveling the world on Disney cruises. Then there's Delana and Kevin Tupy. The couple bought their $5.5 million French chateau style home in 2019, mainly as vacation property away from the primary residences of, I'm about to butcher this name, Sox Falls, South Dakota? Kevin Tupy got his fortune as the head of Creston Capital, an investment firm, and also owns a chain of gyms. Delana, the bigger Disney fan of the couple, transformed parts of their home into a Beauty and the Beast themed library. This reflects a story that comes up often within the Golden Oak community. It's that generally the person with the money is providing the property as somewhat of a gift to their family, something that they can provide to their partner or to their children, that they themselves aren't particularly wholly interested in Disney, but they're doing it out of love for the people they care about. The community also includes high profile professionals like Kathleen Morgan, a medical executive, and her husband Martin Rubin, a telecom entrepreneur. The couple's home reflects their individual passions, with an office dedicated to Mulan and a guest bedroom designed to feel like a spaceship from Star Wars. Hilda Bacardi, a name you might recognize as the heiress to the Bacardi liquor fortune, is another notable resident. Her 7-bedroom home is one of the most expensive properties in the estate, featuring a blue and white Frozen themed room and a Star Wars home theater that looks actually pretty sick, but complete with large figurines of Darth Vader and R2D2. Interestingly, Miss Bacardi paid $6.9 million for this home back in 2018, but in 2023 listed her property for sale at $19 million. After several months of no bites, it was delisted before being relisted at a slightly discounted price of $17.5 million. As of right now, the property remains unsold and off market. This is odd considering the high demand for Golden Oak, but perhaps the astronomical 485% jump in price scared away some potential buyers. Also, apparently, her intention was not to leave Golden Oak, but downsize, as she already owns a second home in the estate. But beyond their love for Disney, there is an interesting and somewhat unexpected commonality among many of the residences. A significant number of them identify as Republicans. This is not a political video, and I don't want it to turn into a political video, but this seems ironic considering all the controversies surrounding Disney in Florida. But the community's exclusivity and high cost naturally draws wealthy individuals, a demographic that statistically leans more conservative, particularly in matters of economic policy. Many Republicans prioritize personal wealth accumulation, lower taxes, and the protection of private property, all which resonate with the lifestyle offered at Golden Oak. During the developing controversy between Ron DeSantis and Disney, this community was made up by mostly his primary base, which is kind of fascinating when you think that they were on the land in which Ron DeSantis was about to put a prison right next to. I'm sure they would have been thrilled. Now, this doesn't apply to all residents, as in an article with the Wall Street Journal, Jenna Scaramucci mentions that she's far more left-leaning than her fellow residents. But I thought that it was an interesting fact and was worthwhile bringing up. So, what does the future hold for Golden Oak? Disney faces a challenge of maintaining a delicate balance to ensure the ongoing success of this ultra-exclusive community. While these homes serve as luxury residences, for many of the wealthy individuals who own them, they are also a significant investment, and investors expect a return. Disney no doubt is keen to expand by developing new neighborhoods and properties, but doing so without caution could risk devaluing existing homes. Oversaturation or reckless expansion might undermine the rarity and prestige that makes Golden Oak so desirable in the first place, so I wouldn't expect any big developments anytime soon. Another challenge lies in pricing. With some properties currently selling for tens of millions of dollars, introducing new homes at significantly lower price points could create friction among current homeowners. How do you sell new properties while maintaining the high expectations and exclusivity that have defined the community? One way Disney is attempting to navigate this is by diversifying the types of residences available, like the upcoming Four Seasons apartments and townhomes. By offering something different and distinct from the original standalone mansions, Disney can continue to grow Golden Oak without directly competing with or undermining the value of existing properties. These are alternative options, not replacements or additions to the standalone mansions. The future success of Golden Oak will depend on how well Disney can innovate, while preserving the community's luxury, exclusivity, and investment potential. In many ways, Golden Oak feels like a weird blemish from the Chapek era of Disney, where the company leaned heavily into maximizing profits and luxury experiences for the ultra wealthy. But in reality, it's a holdover from Bob Iger's leadership, which continues to shape the company today. Iger's vision of luxury living intertwined with Disney magic remains embedded in projects like Golden Oak, and as he remains at the helm, this strategy continues to influence Disney's real estate ambitions. Golden Oak will always be an exclusive oddity that we witness from beyond the hedge, but the real future lies in a project called Story Living. This new project expands on the idea of Disney-themed communities, aiming to bring the magic of Disney to a broader audience through master-planned neighborhoods in various locations such as Cotino in California and Asteria in North Carolina. While Story Living may not have the same level of exclusivity as Golden Oak, it represents the next step in Disney's exploration of blending residential living with the brand's iconic storytelling and immersive experiences. As Disney evolves, Golden Oak will remain a unique jewel, but the vision of Disney-branded living is set to grow beyond its gates. But that's a Story Living for another day. For Review Time, I'm Dom. Thanks for watching.